Welcome to economics class, dear students. Let me proceed further with the lingering challenges under rural development. Let me start with these discussion in detail. And the very first lingering challenge is rural credit. Rural credit refers to the loan facility for the rural people to meet their basic necessities of life regarding their occupation, their productive and non-productive expenditures. So here we are talking with to meet up the needs of rural people by providing credit facility, which is an utmost important duty of the government of India, because basically the Indian population lives in the rural countryside, and to meet up their requirement is the responsibility of the government. So here to provide credit to the rural people, we have two sources. The very first is non-institutional sources, which are also termed as traditional source, which include landlords, village traders, money lenders, etc. Till first 5 year plan, these non-institutional sources were contributing 93% need of the Indian rural farmers. But after that, this percentage has decreased a large number, because opposite to this, the institutional sources are proving more beneficial for the farmers, as because landlords, village traders, money lenders, they provide loan facility without any legal formality, but the rate of interest that they charge is very high and the security is the least one. So opposite to traditional sources, there are modern sources which have provided a large scale facility and credit to the Indian farmers. So the second one source we have is institutional source, which is termed as modern source, which include government, commercial bank, regional rural development bank, and cooperative societies. Further, all these components collectively provide the rural facility and provide loan up to 66% to the rural people in India, and their participation in this field is increasing day after day, because the formalities, no doubt it takes, but the security, the faith, the trust in the banking system is very much high and important. So these much institutional sources are contributing more in this field. The very first source under this sector is cooperative society, as we know these as special help group. These are the group of voluntary people who uh, join their savings and collect a huge amount so that they may help the needy people in their area to meet up their need in the time of urgency. And till now there are many branches of special help group which are providing the credit facility to the rural people at large scale, and they contribute up to 16 to 17% rural uh, credit needs of the farmers for their productive and non-productive needs. The second one is State Bank of India and Commercial Bank. As the Indian government realized that cooperative society only cannot meet up the needs of the large number of farmers in India, so commercial bank were given such a responsibility to cover up the rural facilities by providing credit to the people for their needs. So these banks were created, and their number of branches were expanded to provide more credit to the farmers and non-farming activities, so that the level of working and the earning level may increase of rural people. Next are Regional Rural Bank and Land Development Bank. These branches are concerned with to provide credit facility to the remote areas, most backward districts and backward areas of the country, so that people in these areas may increase up their standard of living, their earning level, and may participate more in the production activities of the country. So these try to approach to the most backward areas of the nation. Next one is NABARD, that is National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. It is an important institution which frame policies to provide rural credit to the different sectors. It focus on to increase the participation rate of the commercial bank. It just supervise their work whether they are doing their work in right direction to provide assistance to the rural people. So all these were concerned with rural credit facilities. The next one challenge is rural marketing. Further, it concerned with so many stages. So ultimately, it becomes a process of gathering the produce from the production center. After that, processing the produce and grading that product according to its quality. The next step is of concern with packaging of the food grains and their well storing, and further ultimate the sale of the product to the consumer in the market. So all these six steps collectively considered as rural marketing. So further, it is an important step that Indian government has taken to improve the marketing facility both for the producer as well as seller and along the customers, so that they may be provide a security in their system of marketing. So it include regulated markets, as it consider government officials participation with farmers in the process of their price fixing, packaging level, and the supervision of such activities in right manner. So, with the help of regulated markets, the farmers may feel confident while the sale process of their produce, and a better bargaining power they receive by the way of cooperative agricultural marketing facilities, because it helps the farmers to strict with their bargaining power and their level of packaging, transporting, and even selling process, a right manner of measurement of their farm produce. The warehousing facility provide a storage facility of the food grains, so that the food production of the farmers may be saved from being destroyed, and for longer period it can be stored in this warehousing, um, and farmer can use their product to sell whenever they um, come to know with the attractive price for their product to sell in the market. Next is subsidized transport. In this field, Indian Railway is supporting the most to the farmers, as it is one of the cheapest way to transport food grains from the production center to the market at minimum rate. Next is dissemination of information. It consider uh, a balance of information provided by the different institutions in the field of current prices, previous prices, and future price levels, so that according to a appropriate price level, farmers may decide to produce whatever they want to produce according to price level, according to the market need and the requirement of the consumer section. So it is one of the basic element which is important to provide information regarding the price level to the farmers, traders, and middlemen so that they may take a right decision to sell their product in the market. Next one is minimum support price. It is one of the important parameter that is in the hand of the government in the favor of the producers. Those are farmers. So to farmers, minimum support price is promised by the government to pay off so that farmers may receive an incentive for their production activity. A minimum price is promised to paid to the farmers and support them in their economic and financial position. At this price, farmers can sell their product to the government, which the government can use to create their buffer stock. In bulk of amount, food grains are kept stored by the government and used for public distribution system in the market. Under public distribution system, basic necessities of the life like food, clothing, kerosene, vegetables, pulses, cereals, these all items are provided by the government to the poorer section of the society to meet up their food requirement. And these items are kept in a large scale stock which is known as buffer stock, and these items are purchased by the government from the farmers at minimum support price. It is very important to note here that minimum support price is given by the government to the farmers to assure their income from the production, but farmers can sell their product at higher price, at higher than MSP in the market. It is the minimum price level that farmer can receive for their product, but in the market they can sell their product at the higher price than this minimum support price. So by these ways, government is trying to cope up with the problems and trying to provide better facility for the rural workers, those who are engaged in farming as well as non-farming activities. All these efforts are done so that the people of this rural society may lift up their standard of living and improve their earning standards. Thank you, students. Take care.